India is growing old, quite literally. India will have more elderly people than children by the year 2050, according to the India Aging Report by the United Nations Population Fund. As you can see in that graph, the line graph shows that the population above 60 years of age will surpass the population of children between the age of 0 to 14 years. The share of the 60-plus population in the country's total population is projected to double to 20.8% by the year 2050. That essentially means that 1 in every 5 Indians will be a senior citizen by 2050. India's elderly population will double to 347 million or 20.8% of the total population from 149 million in the year 2022. And that's not it. The older population is set to grow even further. By the end of this century, senior citizens are projected to make up 36% of our country's population. Now, this will happen as the elderly population is growing at a much faster rate than the overall population. From the year 2022 to 2050, the overall population is set to grow by 18%, while the 60-plus population is projected to grow by a whopping 134%. With this, the report says that undoubtedly, the relatively young India today will turn into a rapidly aging society in the coming decades as the older population is growing, while the younger population in the 15 to 59 years age group is falling. And interestingly, a distinguishing feature of India is that the elderly population's share varies across states. For example, Kerala has the highest elderly population share of 16%, followed by Tamil Nadu at 14%, as these states have controlled their fertility rates. While on the other side, northern states such as Bihar and Uttar Pradesh have the lowest share of just about 8%, as their fertility rates are still high, meaning they still have a higher population of children. Now, what does this mean for India's future? The report calls this an unprecedented rise in the elderly population and says that this will impact health, economy, and the Indian society at large. Senior citizens are largely dependent and they have serious ailments, so specific social welfare and health schemes will be needed for them. The need for such schemes is highlighted by the fact that 18.7% of senior citizens in India don't have any income. Additionally, over 40% of India's elderly population falls in the poorest 25% slab, according to this report. Lastly, this forecast means that India will lose its demographic edge of a growing young and working population.